It's Wednesday, May 31st, 2023. It's about 73 degrees outside. Lots of sun. It's a little bit hazy, but mostly clear. The weather forecast says this Saturday and Sunday we should get a storm with somewhat significant rain. So I moved them into a double section here. I think this is the third and fourth cell of this sixth section. Today is going to get a little bit hot to the upper 80s. As you can see, this field, there's a lot of dead grass, or dry grass, I guess. And in between there's some green grass, tall green grass growing. So this area of the field seems to be making the transition to the summer grass very well and quickly. Hey, Blue. The ground in spots was hard. It was difficult to get the posts in. The first quarter or half inch was just solid. Once you get past that, though, it's pretty soft. This, I believe, is goatweed growing in between the grass here. Cows will eat goatweed. Oh, what is that? It's a rabbit. Right there. It's a baby rabbit. Anyway. Yeah. I need to do something about the dogs. They probably won't do it. Well, they have a big bucket of water. You know, you can always jump in the water and get cool. So they have the water that I use to feed the cows. I have two of them. Ooh, what is this? This has already been nipped at, huh? Are you going for a second bite, huh? That's ryegrass that she's eating right now, number 20. So there's still green ryegrass. I guess it's just a little later you get into the seed stage. This particular spot, I think, was on a very muddy day where I had the cows, and they disturbed the soil too much. So the grass is having a hard time growing here. But as you can see, the goatweed is doing just fine. So there's some grass growing in between. Not a lot, but a little. Dandelions. We have some dandelions. Here's a whole bunch of goatweed. Something's eating the goatweed. I guess that's a good sign, right? Some kind of insect or bug is munching on it. Yeah. Well, I'd rather have something rather than nothing. So I'm glad to have goatweed versus having bare ground. At the very least, the goatweed will capture sunlight, send some of that sugar down to its roots, and encourage the microbes in the soil. It'll provide some shade cover, and when we get a significant amount of rain, it'll help to keep the soil in place rather than allowing it to wash away. So even weeds have a purpose, you know. And if the ground is such that the grass can't grow well, then I'm more than happy to have goatweed or something else growing there. Mother Nature doesn't like to be bare. You gotta cover her up with growing things. You know. You can see here, let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. So you're here in between, it's just like a desert, right? Here we are in the last day of May, and we got a desert, but let's go find a place with lots of goatweed. Let's go see what the goatweed is doing. So here's kind of a stand of goatweed. You can kind of see the soil is quite a bit different. Looks like there's even a little bit of moisture on the surface. It's a little bit darker in color. Let's find another stand here. This looks like it's crowding out the grass. There's only a few strands of grass in between here. There we go, look at that. See that? Looks like it's probably 5 or 10 degrees cooler down there near the ground than it is up in the air. So, yeah, I'm happy to have it. I would, of course, prefer grass. You know, grass up to your armpits, but, you know, anything's better than bare ground. It's a misconception, I think, that you can win by getting rid of all the seeds. The way nature works is she stores the seeds in what we call a seed bank. And really there's only a couple ways to get rid of the seeds. And the easiest and probably the only possible way you can do it with a large pasture like this is to allow the seeds to sprout and then kill that plant before it can get more seeds in. The only issue with that process is that you can't force all the seeds to sprout. A certain percentage will stay behind. And so you'll always have seeds and you'll never be able to get rid of them all. Another issue is, like, let's suppose that I was able to go through and get rid of every single goatweed seed, every single goatweed sprout in this pasture. Well, the first time the wind blows, then some goatweed seeds are going to land in my pasture. Or maybe a bird will carry it. Or poop it out, even worse, so that it's encased with lots of nutrients. You see the problem? Right? So, trying to eradicate a species like that in your field is kind of a pointless endeavor. Instead, what you need to do, and what makes the most sense to me, is modify your soil biology and the things that are growing around it to make it so that those seeds, if they do sprout, can't grow. But ideally they don't even sprout, you know. And so the way you do that, and every guy that has a nice lawn knows this little secret: if your grass is strong, you can't grow weeds. Because grass is a very aggressive, and you might even say like an invasive plant. If the soil conditions are right for the grass, it will crowd out everything. It will consume everything and grow in thick clumps and won't allow anything else to grow in between it. And grass has an advantage because it goes straight up. Lots of plants have to go out to collect the solar energy, but the grass can go straight up while it's growing, gathering solar energy. And the taller it grows, the more solar energy it can gather. And so grass has kind of a distinct advantage. Now the problem is grass needs particular conditions to grow. It needs lots of nitrogen, other nutrients, and it's just, look at all these seeds that fell from the grass. That's next year's grass. It's also going to go in the seed bank so that if suppose somebody comes here and kills everything, then there will be some seeds left behind so it can regrow and recover. Anyway, so grass is kind of an ideal plant to, oh, look at this. This is a grass I think this is crabgrass. Some people actually plant crabgrass in their pastures. It's really good for forage. I think they were saying that your winter stockpile, it preserves a lot of protein for the cows. So if you have a bunch of crabgrass, they can get some protein from the field itself. And maybe it makes good hay too, I don't know. But that's crabgrass right there, which is a good kind of grass. Not for your lawn, but for the pasture. So anyway, I'm not too concerned about that stand of goatweed. If it grows up, which it probably will, I'll just whack it down, cut the tops off, let sunlight down below. I kind of wanted to see what I do. Actually have an experiment where I cut some of the goatweed and not the others. When I cut the goatweed last September, October, I don't remember, I only cut the northern part of the field. And this southern part, I didn't cut the goatweed at all. So we're gonna see throughout the year whether the goatweed grows in the northern. If it doesn't, then I don't need to cut the goatweed. I just need to let it go. Let nature do its thing. Save a little bit of time and save a little bit of diesel and wear and tear. You know, look at this. You guys are like hungry dogs. You're good cow, number 19. All right, I guess that's enough. You guys have a great day. Enjoy whatever beautiful weather you're getting when you see this video. That calf let me touch her. How about you, 19? Some of you guys are fly magnets. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.